I tried to warn everyone about 8 months ago, going on 9 months now, that it will become increasingly more difficult to get residency in Mexico as compared to years past. And boy, oh boy, was I right. This is going to be a quick video. I'm going to try to keep it under 10-15 minutes to just go over some of the changes that are happening and why, if you have any desire to get your legal residency, temporary and or permanent, it does not behoove you to wait. So, before we get started, first I want to welcome everyone to the Kim with the Gems channel. Hey everyone, I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems, and on this channel we talk all things money, travel, and wellness in an effort for us to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And as some of you may know, I do have my residency in Mexico, which is slated to become permanent in a few months. And with that being said, I also help others start the process, get through the first part of the process, which is getting approved here in the US and then going to Mexico and finalizing your residency. That means I stay connected to what is happening, the news, what some of my clients are going through, what they have been saying. And what they have been saying is that depending on where you go in Mexico, the rules are changing and they are changing fast. Why, you may ask? The amount of people trying to flee and go to other countries is astronomical. I mentioned in the video that I will post, you know what, I'm going to put a link to that video. I'm going to put a link to that video in this chat now. It's called Big Changes Coming to Mexican Residency in 2026. What you need to know and do. Y'all think I be talking to just talk. I promise you I don't. I promise you, when Kim with the Gems talks, if it applies to you, you should listen because it is absolutely real. So this is the big changes coming to Mexican residency in 2026 video that I posted over 8 months ago. And that was the first warning. That was well, it wasn't my first warning. I also did a video. Let me see if I can post that too, because I want everyone to, catch up if you haven't. So I'm going to try to catch up. And it talked about, I'm trying to catch you up, excuse me. It talked about how, yeah, the borders were closing, but not the way we thought they would close, that they were going to be closing the other direction. And so let me quickly try to find that. But tonight's topic or tonight's conversation is really just going to focus on 3 areas where it is becoming increasingly more difficult and what you need to prepare for. And as always, I will continue to offer my assistance. I don't have the link. Oh, I don't even know if I have the link available right now for you to sign up for a consultation. But let me just, was that alive? I'm looking for that video as well. So it was called something about the borders. So let me see. Let me just go Mexico. If I can't find it with this search right here, then I will. Oh, yeah, it's called. Oh, this was okay. So let's chat. I posted this on November 27th, 2024, in an effort to warn people of things that I was hearing, things that I was seeing, and things that I knew just logistically would have to happen in order to do crowd control in a country that has never seen this level of people wanting to move abroad. And so let me go ahead. This was Moving to Mexico, Not So Fast. I think that was the name of it. I'm going to share this right now as well. And I'll also put it in the description so you can reference going to Mexico, not so fast, what's really going on at the border. And so you could take a look at that, save it, and watch it later. So those are the two videos that I shared starting in 2024 when the writing was on the wall about getting residency in Mexico. And I truly, what was the date? I want to give you the date of the first video that I talked about. The big changes coming to Mexican residency. So that was posted on analytics. It was posted on November 6th of 2025. November 6th of 2025 was when the big changes video came. And the only reason I'm referencing those now is because I truly want to just underscore the fact that time is of the essence. Those who started acting in 2024 when the siren was being, sounded, or even November of 2025 when I came back to underscore that big changes were made. I even did shorts. I even put together shorts from other experts and posted this on this channel to try to encourage everyone to go ahead, stop wasting time, and apply for the residency. And so, what are some of the changes? First, let me say hi to a few people. Oh, hey, Christine, welcome, girl. Yes, yep, the replay, some of the things have already come to fruition, and there have been more things that, went above my knowledge that they are doing in certain places as well. Real life with Anthony McNeil. Hey, Kim, I'm coming to Mexico very soon, and I'm definitely looking to be a resident. Yes, very soon is the operative phrase because, as I mentioned in the video about big changes coming, logically, Mexico had to make changes because Mexico is one of the easiest places for people from all over the world to get to get residency in. And people from Canada and the US were 10xing like the amount of residency requests than the previous 5 years. So pre 2020 to where we are now, 10x in most major metropolitan cities in Mexico, people are literally fleeing the border. But the infrastructure can't handle the amount of requests. How they're saying we're coming and gentrifying. So displacement of the natives has become a major issue. Many people have seen like the protests that have happened in Mexico City and with the rents skyrocketing because the takeover was real. And so, in order for them, let me see, I'm going to play a part of, let me just go through. You're new to the channel. Well, welcome. You are now part of the Gym Nation family if you hit that subscribe button. So, welcome to the families. The OGs are in the building. Hey, LJ. Christine is our moderator. She is in the building. As you can see, they're saying hi to. Oh, look, a shell out of the shell is in the building. OG and our Gym Nation member of 2025. Congratulations, girl. I see y'all are having conversation. So perfect. So I'm going to just play a little bit of the warning from 2020. What was it? 2024? 2025. Sorry. 2024 border closing, and I'll talk more about that later in the week. Before we move on, I'm also going to come back and talk about, so I've been talking, well, Sunday, or what's today? Monday. So Saturday, I did a video about generating more revenue, increasing that cash flow. We're not paying attention, many of us, to exactly what this war is going to mean for us. And so what's tomorrow? Tomorrow, I will be coming live to go over exactly how much, first, what we expect to see major increases in pricing in some things we're not even thinking about, like healthcare. Helium is affected, healthcare will be affected. But we're going to go over the least common things that we're thinking about. We already know about gas, we already know about groceries. We're going to talk exactly, we're going to talk more specifically about areas, and there are yes, minty. I said minty. I didn't mean to say minty, but minty, minty areas. Let me just call off a few. Energy and fuel, transportation, logistics, food and agriculture, housing and construction, consumer goods, automotive, medical, mining and raw materials, technology and infrastructure, services like delivery services. All of these things are going to increase exponentially, and we're going to talk about it. And so that the next time I come to you live about revenue sources, income streams, increasing your cash flow, it will connect better, I think. Because I don't want this to be about, like, I'm not doing a whole bunch of videos talking about going to resale places, and thrift stores and buying low and selling high. I've talked about stocks here. I'm talking about reselling. I've talked about, getting certifications in certain areas. I just want us to have a litany of areas that we can lean into to get that cash flow up, because we're going to need it. We can't. This is not a game. This is not a game. This is not a game. So back to me sharing just a clip of the video from 8 months ago called Mexico Big. Okay, 28. Let me find the. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play this part real quick. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear it, and then we'll get into the. Um, yeah, I did do a ton. And I tried to do not only just about getting residency, but the warnings that I was hearing. Um, hey, Janet. Girl, so I have like 5 people I am checking on. So I head back to New York next week. I have 5 people that I was going to send a "Where are you" email, but I know it's summertime, and I know you had some jazz concerts and all of that, Miss Jazz. But it's good to see you in the building, and I will still be checking on everyone. Um, yeah, they unsubscribe people. Listen, I have been unsubscribed from everyone from Stephanie Perry to the people I follow, Dr. Carr. Like, I get it. I don't know what the rationale or when they change, if you're subscribed or not, but I'm glad to see you here today. But let's quickly share the screen, and I want you to just to pay attention to like 60 seconds of what the warning stems from and why it was obvious that this stuff is it has to occur. So let me just make sure you can see. There you go. Can I increase that? Let me see. Okay. So let's listen. Hey, our choice hauling. What is up? Good to see you. Well, the OGs are in the building along with our new member who just shouted himself out, Mr. Real Life with Anthony McNeil. I will check out your channel after this live. Okay, so let me go ahead and hit play. There's justifications from, of course, their government. The Treasury Minister claims these increases are necessary to support intensive use of infrastructure and specialized human resources by the National Migration Institute, INM, and specifically cited concerns about digital nomads affecting local housing, commerce, and community spaces. They got to make that money away. And I clearly mentioned that a few times over the past year. It would be wise for them to increase the barrier for entry financially so that they can reduce the total number, the net number of people that they have to accept. because it is a burden, right? When you have people flocking, and when I tell you flocking, they are flocking the other way. It's not just us, y'all. It's a lot. And we're talking other countries too. So they have to be wise and strategic. But let's talk about eligibility requirements for permanent residents. Oh, no, I'm trying to stop it, y'all. Okay. So there you go. That was the foundation of why I knew these changes were not only coming, but they were going to come quicker, without warning, more fast and furious, especially in places that are highly trafficked for people who want to get residency, i.e., Playa del Carmen, Cancun, Tulum. I'm sure more places, Mexico City will be, more stricter, and we'll get over what that looks like. So, the first thing that I have noticed, and not just noticed, I've dealt with clients who I've had to help research the barrier to entry, as I mentioned in the video that we just saw, has become higher, especially for the retirees. So whereas a couple years ago, if you had a nest egg, or not a nest egg, but yeah, if you had a nest egg, a savings that you could show was like in the 50,000 range, you were good money. You could get approved. That number has increased to over 70, depending on the consulate you go to, 70, 80,000 in that range. That could be cost prohibitive for some people. Monthly income has increased drastically in order to get approved for temporary and or permanent residency. Permanent residency, where a lot of people could just qualify based on how much money you had, right? If you met the financial requirements to, for permanent residency, you can get approved no matter the age. You could be 25, you could be 35, you could be 45. Now, most consulates, if you are not over the age of 60, some are now going to 62, 65, you cannot even apply for permanent residency. Also, so what was that? So we first talked about financial solvency requirements increasing, being stricter about the age requirements for permanent residency. Moving on to number 3, some places now, when you go to renew in Mexico, so for those of you that don't know, if you get temporary residency in prior years up until now, and I mean like last week, up until last week, you get the 1-year permanent residency. You'd have to come back before that residency expired, that 1 year, come back to Mexico. So you get approved first in the States at a consulate. You then have to go to an immigration office called short for the acronym is INM, an immigration office in Mexico, and finalize the Kanye process to get your residency card. That temporary residency card would be good for 1 year. Before that 1 year is up, within 30 days, you have to go back. Within 30 days of expiration, you have to go back and renew you could do it for 1 year, you could do it for 2 years, or the max would be 3 years, right? Many people in the States would do 3 years, so they wouldn't have to keep coming back and forth. And then at the end of that 3-year term, within 30 days of expiration, you turn that temporary card over to permanent residency if you choose to. You don't have to, but if you choose to, you would not have to submit any further paperwork showing that you were financially solvent. You just went back to Mexico, did the process through the immigration office, and got approved. Here comes the changes. There are new directors at some of these immigration offices in Mexico. As of last week, about a week and a half ago, the office in Playa del Carmen got I don't know when the director was announced, but as of a week and a half ago, that office has told people who came to renew for the 3 years, so they finished their 1 year, they completed their 1 year, they can only renew for one more year. They're no longer doing 3-year renewals. Again, this is not every office in Mexico. This is not every immigration office in Mexico. It is some of the offices in Mexico. One of them is my beloved Playa del Carmen. Their office is not only telling people that they cannot renew for 3 years, they're also taking longer to approve that 1 year renewal. So Playa del Carmen was known for you being able to go to renew and having that renewal card. So once you turn in your 1 year temporary card, you get a 3-year card or whatever term you decide. You would get that card the same day. Some of these immigration offices are taking weeks. So, whereas people would come thinking, okay, I could do all of this on a 7-day vacation, a 5-day vacation. No. Once you go to renew, it is at the discretion of that immigration office how long it will take to resubmit or provide you with your renewal card. And there are many people that are getting hemmed up because they're not staying connected and doing their research, which is why I always say, listen, if I'm doing something as important and I don't have the time to do the research myself, I'm going to pay somebody to do it. I'm going to pay somebody to help me navigate where to go, where to find this, how to find that, in order to not waste time. There are people literally crying because they don't have the vacation time to stay for a week. They didn't plan. They already booked their return trip and they don't know when they're going to get their renewal card. And if you leave the country without getting your renewal card, it's a whole nother process that you have to pay for. You have to request, I forgot exactly the term, but it's, they have to give you permission to leave the country and they need to know when you're coming back. Like, it's a whole process. It's not you leave and you come back and you finish when you feel like it. No. So they're getting more strict with the, well, first, the amount of money you have to make in order to qualify. Second, the second part was oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. The second part was, it's coming. Oh, the amount of time they are going to renew you for. So they're not automatically doing 3 years. You can only renew an additional year, which means you will have to come back another year from now to finalize the renewal. And then they're also taking longer to provide you with said card. And we're not finished. So those are the top 3 areas, but there's another area that people are unfortunately finding out the hard way. So some people would, fluff up an account, get money from other people, stack up a bank account, keep that money in the account for 6 months, 12 months, whatever the terms were, to get approved at the consulate. Then they would spend that money, disperse that money, use that money, because you would not have to show that you were financially solvent ever again once you got approved that first time. Things have changed. There are certain consulates that are requesting. Playa del Carmen is one of them. For some, I don't know if it's universal or if they're, picking and choosing. They're requesting now that you submit your financials. You have to now resubmit your bank statements. But here's the catch. Oh no, you can't just go to Mexico with your laptop and print out bank statements. No, you have to pay to have them translated into Spanish. Guess what? The average cost for that is about $500 because they charge per word or something like that. So now, not only are some immigration offices requiring that you resubmit bank statements, even though they're not saying that you have to, show that you're meeting financial solvency. It's supposedly just to show that you could sustain yourself, but without any clear definition of what that looks like. Are you just showing that you have $5,000 in the bank? Is that enough? Or do you need to show you have 25,000? Whatever it is, they are requesting, no, not requesting, they're requiring you to submit documents that go through a translation process along with your renewal, your application for renewal. They are definitely making the barrier to entry more challenging. And do I fault them for it? Absolutely not. The amount of people that, and I wish I had the number. I want to say Playa del Carmen, was it 10 years ago, had 50,000 people that would come and, either stay for what they call them, snow bunnies, right? Stay for the cold winter months, 50,000 people. Now the number is like 350,000 to 400,000 people. That infrastructure can't handle the amount of buildings, new homes, new construction that was built over the last 4 or 5 years is ridiculous. The locals, the natives can't afford the pricing. And guess what? This year, because of what's happening over there in the Middle East, a lot of people couldn't even afford to, vacate for any extended amount of time. So restaurants are closing, businesses are closing because the customers are no longer there. And the ones that are there are not spending. So the country has to do something different, especially in overpopulated areas. So, as I mentioned in the video, the recap or the piece that I just showed from the video that I did in November, it makes complete sense for certain places to raise the requirements, right? Still accept people, but they don't have to accept as many people. So if they decide to double the financial solvency requirements, that doesn't mean that they're not going to be able to sustain, because they will just target the wealthier class, right? Or people who have more discretionary income versus the ones that are just getting a pension or just getting social security or just making it, right? Barely making the financial solvency requirement. So those are the top areas where there are changes. And if there are any people in the sound of my voice that have a desire to still get residency, the longer you wait, the more challenging it's going to be. So it is still, we are still at a space and time where you can absolutely go ahead and visit different consulates in the US, find consulates that you meet the qualifications, and you can have your appointments there, your interviews there, and still get approved. I'm sure in the near future, they're going to cut that. They're going to cut that. They're going to restrict the amount of consulate hopping that you can do. And so, my hope for you is that if you have been putting this off, stop. Don't wait. Stop waiting, because it's not going to get easier. It's going to get more difficult. And especially as certain countries continue to act up, there are going to be more and more people that want to flee. And so, while there are still other countries, but a lot of other countries are increasing their requirements. We heard Portugal is also going through drastic changes and making it, even more difficult for people from other countries to become legal residents of said country, but it's not, it's all over. It is all over now. There are still other countries that are open arms, right, to people like, yes, we still want you. We'll we'll, you know, make it, we'll simplify the process, but those aren't the, most popular places. So I still encourage you to do your researches and get a list, to do your research and get a list together and see what the top places are that you would love to live. But until then, if Mexico is on your list of places that you want residency, this is July 2026. Get on the ball. I have two clients. It's weird. It's also weird because I have two clients that it took them a month to get an appointment here in the US. If y'all remember my story, for the OGs, some of you do. I woke up on a Monday morning. Well, I on a Sunday, I think it was, I decided, yeah, I want to apply for residency. Woke up Monday, was ready to make my appointment, got the appointment for Wednesday. Within 7 days, I was a Mexican, a legal resident of Mexico, temporary. And so now that is harder and harder. I could actually read some of the comments that people are saying about how long it's taking them. And I was going to say, then there's other people, depending on where you live, it's absolutely, they've been able to get, appointments within a week or two. But let me see if I can find some places you have to upload now. Also, that's the other thing. Some of the consulates here won't even confirm your appointment until you upload the documents that they require to prove that you actually do meet the qualifications. Like, they're like, listen, we tired of wasting time too, because some of y'all coming in here with 150 different accounts, and you're still $10 under the requirement, and then they have to turn you away, and that's a waste of time, that's wasted appointment. Yes, they get to keep the $56, but it's still a waste of time. So a lot of consulates now are not a lot of consulates now are requiring you to upload all of the required paperwork before you even step foot in the building for your appointment. Las Vegas, a place that people would run to because it was so easy to get appointments and approval, and they were still approving people under the age of 60 for permanent. They just had an update this week. There's a new scheduling system. They no longer accept appointments via email. You have to now create an account and then follow that link, and then you select appointment via email. So you can't WhatsApp them, you can't email anymore, you can't call them. Someone said they did it 2 weeks ago and still have not had a confirmation email for an appointment. So there's a lot of changes that are happening. It's not going to get easier, is the takeaway. Waiting is only going to not stack the odds in your favor. And over here, we're all about stacking odds in your favor. Please stack the odds in your favor and stop saying, oh yeah, I'm going to get around to it. Oh yeah, go ahead. And if nothing else, start the process. You can always cancel. You can always cancel an appointment. But if it's going to take you a month to get an appointment, start now. Yeah, so they're telling you to definitely, when you get to Mexico, don't try to do it by yourself if you're not, like, I did it. I did it the DIY way for the first part in Mexico. It literally took almost a month for me to finish the process, and it was because of glitch that I was unaware of on my end. So I talked to my clients about this. There are certain general statements that people share, like, oh, you have to get there before your 180 days is up. To No, it's a whole process. Not only do you have to get there, you have to make sure your appointment is within a certain amount of time for renewal, or you get caught up in a holding pattern. So long story short, there's a lot of changes. If you want to get residency in Mexico specifically, then yeah, I highly advise you to go ahead, start the process. If you need help, if you need hand holding, let me see if I could pull up this. If I have to log into, shoot. If I have to log in, I mean, oh, you know what? It's probably on that. Oh, I do need to update. Child, I forgot. I need to make sure my dates are okay. But I am going to right now just add a link if you would like to have some help walking through this process, then I am here to help. And what comes with that is, well, I'll let you read what comes with that, but you get 2 calls technically. The first one is to get you ready for, you setting up. Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm going to put a link here. And if you're interested, go ahead, register. And I'm going to read some more of the comments. Consultation for residency in Mexico. I also provide you with clickable links to everything, so you don't have to scour the internet for the consulate. So if you want to check different consulates and see exactly, so you basically get the guide to Mexican residency. If you don't want a consultation and you just want to get the guide to Mexican residency, I'll include that link too. And again, you'll have access to all the consulates. You can click and see exactly what their requirements are. And it's been updated. This is the 2026 version. So let me go ahead, and it's less than $20. So if you're interested in that, you can, I'm trying to copy the link. There we go. You can get that, and it's called The Guide to Mexican Residency, everything you need to start the process in the US, with direct links to consulates included. And then there's more information included as well. So here you go. Here's the resource guide with clickable links. Mexican residency. Y'all know I don't have in Mexico. Okay, there we go. Boop, 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 boop. So yeah, so let me see what y'all are saying. And then also remember, tomorrow we are coming back to really talk about what Black people need to know about this Middle East situation and how we need to get our cash flow up. And I'm back to getting on y'all nerves about that, because I think some of us really are, walking around with blinders on. And so, okay. And what they plan to do with drinking water is not good. Yeah, they got plans, child. Definitely have to visit Panama next year and get your resident. Yes, yes, yes. And Jackie's Journey is there, so that make sure you reach out to her and follow her on YouTube. It's Jackie's Journey. Gentrification, yeah. I mean, I look at it like this. I feel bad. I know it's not a positive thing. Gentrification happens everywhere. Everywhere. It's a symptom of capitalism. Listen, I'm from New York. You look at Bed-Stuy, you look at Brownsville, you look at Harlem, you look at areas that had so much culture and vibrancy. When New York got too expensive, guess what? They came back to claim, when New York City, when Manhattan got too expensive, they needed places close proximity. Gentrification is a symptom of capitalism. And so you wish you had known about living internationally years ago. You never thought about it, never had a passport before. We are happy that you know now and that you took some action and you are out there doing the thing, girl. So we are so proud of you for not only learning, but then being about that action. So congratulations to you. You think the real bottleneck will happen after the midterm election? That's when reality is going to hit. It will definitely. I think the bottleneck is happening now. I think it's now, but I think it will definitely intensify as this year gets worse and this war gets worse and these prices get higher because people are not paying attention. It is so much that we are distracted from. And we think it's just simply gas and groceries and eggs. And yeah, no, a lot of things are going to become more cost prohibitive if you are not making sure you have additional resources or streams of income. Hey, living in Guatemala. Guatemala. It's so good to see you back in the building. If the straight administration starts arresting. So this, yes. I didn't want this video to be. I wanted this video just to be another red flag signal that now is the time, right? Now is the time. We know things are going to get worse here, right? Like I said, we have not seen what Homeland Security has planned. We have not seen it in action. We have not seen the immigrants who have protective status being literally targeted in mass numbers yet. We haven't seen it. We have not seen more of the governments that we think are on one side start to cave and capitulate and help. We have not seen the worst of the worst. It's going to get worse. It is absolutely going to get worse. Yes, gentrification in Colombia is real. It's happening in so many places. So many places. Hey, seriously, good to see you. Good to see you. I said I wasn't staying long. This was only supposed to be 15 minutes. And here we are at 42. So I am definitely going to end this. But tomorrow afternoon, I will be back live. I'm going to post tonight. I promise I will post tonight the time. I believe I'm live tomorrow at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And we're going to specifically talk about, I have my notes ready and everything. So I just want to make sure that we go over a consolidated list of all the goods and services, as well as things that we are not even thinking about will be impacted, and how we need to really start getting a calculator out and figuring out what it's going to take. And we're not just talking about for the next year, right? We're talking about for the foreseeable future. And so everything that I post on this channel has a rhyme and a reason. And so I am going to post another video about, reselling and what that can look like and how much money you can make. And I'm going to show you real live. This is how much I paid, or this is what I got for free, and this is how much it sold for. But it's only to get you thinking, right? This is not going to be Kim is a reseller page. No, this is Kim is a stay ready so we don't have to get ready, or this channel is a stay ready so we don't have to get ready channel. And reselling is a simplified way, because you don't have to be on social media. And I get not a lot of people want to be on social media. You don't have to have a PhD or an advanced degree. You can have your children do it. Like, it is a low barrier for entry. And so I want us all to have options. Like I told you, I have over 20 streams, right? Unapologetically. I don't actively work at them every day. Some are more passive, some are more active. But I know if one is slow, I got this one going. And that's what I want for us, because we're going to need it. And so that is pretty much all I got. Let's see. I wonder if there's going to be any pushback with those looking to go from temp to permanent residency and PV asking. Yeah, there are. So I don't know. Did I mention that there are certain, I won't call it pushback. You're just going to have to recertify, so to speak. They need to know that they're not taking on people who can no longer afford what they got approved to be able to afford, right? So think about it. If prices are going up here, if things are getting more expensive here, if somebody is already on some type of if somebody is on some type of like fixed income with no savings or had the savings and now they no longer have it, then I don't blame them for needing people to recertify their finances. I'm not mad at that. Like I literally, unpopular opinion, each country has to do what's best for their citizens, not what's best for us who is trying to flee. They have to do what's best for their citizens. And so I'm not mad at it, but they have started the process already. Some people are not, they're not saying that you have to prove financial solvency. I've heard a couple examples where people had to resubmit like their retirement stuff or their bank statements, but they're not calling it that you're getting reapproved. But pretty much that's what you're doing. So, and I expect that to, intensify in more immigration offices because, Puerto Vallarta is another busy, highly populated expat immigrant from the US and Canada destination. So, but the thing about Puerto Vallarta, they also attract a lot of wealthy people. So if if they do all of this stuff, like ask for these, records and more papers, Puerto Vallarta will be fine because they have people who, no problems, meet the qualifications. But yeah, if you're on the cusp, get that money up. I mean, so I did a video about some of the top places for people to look. And so I'm not going to holistically say, one entire race should either look to do residency there or not look to. It is definitely part of a list that I did. I'm going to see if I can quickly find it. I don't even remember the name of it, so I might not be able to. But I advise you to do your research. It depends upon you. Like there's weather factors, there's social factors, there's a whole lot of factors that may work for some people, but not work for others. Countries. I know it was like top countries. So I don't want to, you know what? I will add that into, because I don't remember the name of best countries, maybe. So yeah, I did a best countries for healthcare. I'll find that video where we talk about Paraguay, Uruguay, some other off the, not top of mind destinations. And I will add that link into the description as well. And yeah, so I don't, like, I'm a person, I don't want cold weather, right? There's people that don't want hot weather. There's people that don't want the beach. There's people that don't want the mountains. So there's people who need social activities to keep them stimulated. There's people who need dating. There's people who need, like, there's a whole lot of factors that would determine if somebody should or should not entertain Uruguay. But it's listed as one of the easiest places to get residency, and it's a safe place and all of that. So anyway, with that being said, I hope this was helpful. I encourage you to become part of the Gym Nation family. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and then voila, you are part of the Gym Nation family. I also encourage you to like this video. It helps to get the message out to more people. I also encourage you to join me tomorrow. Be sure to check my post. I will post a time. It will either be 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, where we will talk about exactly what we can expect financially or how we'll be impacted financially from what's going on in the Middle East. And I mean specifically as Black people, right? And oh, you're so welcome, Fall Girl. I love the name. And I also would love for you. There was one other thing. Oh, turn on your notifications and make sure your notifications is still on, because as Janet has said, somehow she was no longer part of the notification family. Some way, somehow, this happens a lot. It's happened with me, multiple channels. I get unsubscribe. Turn on notifications and subscribe. That's what I wanted to say. And so I thank you for tuning in tonight. Please, 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 if you need my help, my information is in the chat. It will also be in the description. Just get started. Just stack the odds in your favor. It's not going to get easier. It's going to get harder. And I will see everyone tomorrow at 2 p.m. And if you didn't catch my video about how to start making some money in a simplified way by reselling, I did that video on Saturday. It's the live video before this one. Check that out. And I will post one more video about that and the type of products that I will be listing to sell, and how I plan to 10x my $500 investment into $5,000 before the end of this year. And so with that being said, I thank you for tuning in. Yes, they have, but they have also been distracting us. And that's the sad part. Not everyone is, aware or thinks it's going to get that bad, but you're right. You're absolutely right. And they're continuing to warn us. Whoo, child. Thank you so much, living in Guatemala, for, keeping us on our toes. And thank you, Shell. Yes, everyone be safe. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, have a good night.